Hey, I'm right back with another video. It's like 8:42 on a Tuesday evening. Just got out of the shower, and as of course, when I'm in the shower, weird thoughts start coming to my mind. And actually, I don't think this is weird. It's just something that's like in the back of my mind, and it made me wonder. I covered this topic in one of my other videos, and I was referring to incestuous families. And I'm not trying to offend anybody by any means, but I was thinking, many years ago, back in the 1980s, there was a movie called Something About Amelia, and it got a lot of attention, so much attention that I'm surprised that this sort of behavior is still continuing on, even today. I thought that movie kind of explained the position that a child would be in if they're, having to be open to unwanted sexual advances by family members, And I was thinking today, how, I know that Joel's family is like that, and I suspect many other people are like that as well. And, it's hard because I don't want to judge people because, especially if it's generational and people don't really, know any better. But that's not something I would ever want to participate in, nor do I don't condone it in any way. I'm a very reserved person, and I'm disturbed by that sort of stuff. I'm extremely disturbed by it. And it makes me wonder, I'm like thinking, gosh, how in the world does a person like myself live in a world like this? I don't understand it. It's too weird for me, And I'm not the kind of person that wants to come off as like, I'm just so prissy and I'm so goody-goody and whatever. But, there's certain things that just blow my mind. And this blows my mind tremendously, okay? I don't have any dealings with that side of the family, and all of it to me is extremely traumatizing for several reasons. But the main reason is because of the Christian front of it, the so-called Christian front of it. And then hopefully, I'm assuming that people thought because I was with Joel, that people maybe associated me with that sort of behavior. I can tell you that I never knew what was going on in that family until I would say in the last about year and a half or so. I now look back and I do remember, certain things that were said that if I was really paying attention at the time, I would have put two and two together. But I would never, ever want to have anything to do with something like that, I was thinking, how I'm concerned about, I'm a little concerned about the new generation of children, and not that, I'm not like one of those people who try to act like, oh, I'm so, such a big humanitarian, I'm going out of my way to do a bunch of stuff, but I don't know the state of the world, The state of the world to me is it's something to be concerned about, The very fact that so many people have so very little emotion and so very little empathy for their fellow man and no sense of morals or sense of direction, I'm looking at the family structure of certain people, of a lot of people, and I'm my mind's blown. It's just like I can't grasp how common that this sort of thing is. Families that look normal. And when I'm talking about normal, I'm talking about, the mom, the dad, the station wagon, the whole 9 yards, And you think that these people are clean people. but when I really look at it, I get kind of sick and grossed out. You know what I mean? I'm grossed out by it. As far as me, I think more people know about Joel's family in this town than I do. I don't know them personally, but obviously I'm sure, people in this town probably knew who his family was. But then I know that there's a lot of people in this town that look upon that sort of stuff as normal. You know what I mean? But I can honestly tell you that, I don't look at it as normal. You know what I mean? I think it's very, very worrisome to me. It's very, very sick. When I think about that, I get really, really disgusted and ill is how I feel about it. I don't want to know about people's personal sexual activities. I don't want to be involved with anything like that. You know what I mean? I'm just a woman who's basically trying to take care of herself. I don't want to be involved with anybody's weird stuff, and that's just how it is. I don't put an emphasis on that sort of stuff in my lifestyle, in my life, Like I said, I think sex has its place, but it's not something that I dwell on, or something that is that of importance to me, Like I said, on my deathbed, that's the last thing I'm going to be thinking about. Like, I wish I would have done this I don't. I don't think about that. I know that a lot of relationships through the years, and I really never had a bunch of boyfriends. I never have, I went on dates and stuff like that, but, once you start seeing certain people, you just think, this isn't the sort of standards or the sort of lifestyle that I want for myself. So they never really lasted very long. And so, I tend to be very picky about people, And so, compared to many other women, I would say that I never had that many boyfriends. And there are women who are my age who've been dating since they were probably in their early teens, And that's fine for them, But I don't want to be a part of that sort of filth, you know what I mean? And like I said, I'm not trying to cut down people who've been doing this for generations and they don't see anything wrong with it or whatever, but, it's a difference of opinion. And, I certainly don't want to be part of that, I just don't. I know that the more I think about it, I do believe that Callie Gardner was more involved in my targeting and the manipulation of my employment. I don't know this woman. I really don't. But, and I certainly don't want to have anything to do with anything weird like that, period. You know what I mean? That is too bizarre for me. Way too bizarre for me. It's something that I look down on. You know what I mean? I think there's nice people in the world, and maybe they do that in their privacy of their own home, and, and I'm polite to everybody. I really am. But that's not the kind of lifestyle I want to live, nor do I want to be associated with that sort of stuff. It saddens me, that people don't understand that that's a violation to a child and their rights, you know what I mean? No matter how much a child acts as though they like it, they probably like it because they're getting the attention. But really, it's I don't know. I've covered this before in another video, but I don't like the way the world is. I don't, and I try to keep myself away from that way of thinking, and I try to consider other people's feelings. I couldn't even look at a child and think that way. You know what I mean? I cannot. But I do think that, it is common. It's more common than I'd like to, admit that this stuff goes on and around. And I keep thinking, well, what exactly, when people get busted for child molestation, exactly what did they do to get busted for child molestation if everybody seems to think that this sort of stuff is normal? It's almost like they can just say, well, they're pointing the finger at a person just because they feel like telling on that person, because it's so common, in this environment, and probably other environments too. Because I will say that if anybody would listen to the direction of this particular family and heed their direction, then obviously they agree and support and condone this sort of behavior. You know what I mean? Which tells me that's a very common way of life for a lot of people, and I will tell you, it sickens me. So anyway, I'm going to wrap up this video, and I'm going to try to get some sleep. Today was one of those fog days where I woke up and I really didn't feel like doing anything today. I mean, I pretty much stayed in like little house clothes, slippers, didn't even open the drapes, I mean the blinds or whatever. I just really felt groggy, and dust was flying in my house. I opened the window, and it was like thick dust that came into the house, and my allergies were just going crazy, and my sinuses got stuffed up. So I might sound a little sinal in this video, but but those were my thoughts, tonight, and I just wondered exactly how bad the world's going to get, or to me it's already bad. It's already bad, but it seems like, it's like a Sodom and Gomorrah, a modern day Sodom and Gomorrah is what it seems like when I walk out the door, and it's a very frightening world to live in. Wrapping up this video, and I'll be back with another one tomorrow. Have a good evening.